Hello, ED840. This is Sherry Wills. I am so sorry. I have been trying to upload this movie for over 2 days now. The movie is actually really long. So what I'm going to do, and this is really ghetto, and I'm really sorry. I am really sorry. I'm embarrassed that I cannot upload this correctly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do 10 minutes at a time, upload it to YouTube, and I'm going to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however long it takes to get this. It's about a 40-minute video, but if I do it in 10-minute clips, it should be fine. But this is really ghetto because this is my iPad. Hi, iPad. And this is my MacBook. And I did everything on the MacBook. So I have to record it with my iPad from my MacBook to put it onto YouTube. I know, it's really ghetto, but if it works, and I'm just going to go with it. So this is the presentation, so I'm just going to get everything ready the way it needs to be ready. Then I'm just going to play it for the first 10 minutes, and I'll see you on section 2. Hi, thanks so much for taking some time out of your schedule while we're waiting on karate to go ahead and do this interview. Would you go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce your husband and your children?
My name's Tina Shields. My husband is David, and we have 4 children. Maddox, who's 9, he is our child with Down syndrome. And we have Matthew, who's 7, Mason, who's 5, and Mabry, who just turned 3.
Awesome. Since you mentioned that Maddox is your oldest and he has Downs, did you know that he had Downs before he was born?
No, we didn't know for about 8 hours after he was born.
Okay. So when you found out about 8 hours, how did you find out and who told you?
One of the pediatricians in the group came and did his newborn baby check. He was the one on rounds that day, and when he was finished, he called us into the room and asked everybody else to leave and told us then. He did a pretty good job telling us. I'm not sure that there's really a good way to do it, but as far as getting the news, I think he did it about as well as any story that I've heard.
What was your initial reaction whenever you found out that Maddox had a disability?
Disbelief, fear. I was very scared because I have some backgrounds that gave me enough knowledge to really freak me out. My husband was the opposite. He had no lack of knowledge to be really freaked out, so it didn't really help either direction.
What's your name?
Maddox.
Your name is Maddox. How old are you, Maddox?
9.
You are 9, that's right. When is your birthday? January? That's right. And how old will you be on your birthday? You'll be 10. Good job. What did we do today?
Will it always be like this?
Did we make a craft?
Yes.
Are you going to show me your craft?
Yes.
Okay, show me. Take me to your craft. Okay, hold my hand.
But my milkshake.
Oh, we made milkshakes earlier, so this is his milkshake. Look at that beautiful milkshake. Yum. We made Neapolitan milkshakes. All the kids helped us make this beautiful wreath out of construction paper for their mother.
And actually, I didn't know. I love it.
I know you love that.
Come on.
What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite is play Skylanders.
Oh, you like Skylanders, don't you?
And Superhero League.
Yes, and the superhero Wii. Can you say bye and wave?
Bye and wave.
Does Maddox participate in any special activities that deal with special needs?
He does a couple of things. We do what's called a VIP Soccer League, which is kids with disabilities. It's through AYSO, and the siblings play as peer players. It's a lot of fun. They really enjoy that. He also does a camp for special needs kids. They have a little short one overnight, 2 nights in the fall, which he's actually going to on Friday. And then they have a longer one in the spring that's actually a whole week. run by the University of Tennessee here, and they provide one counselor per child.
So it's very one-on-one.
It's very one-on-one. The counselor that Maddox had last year has become part of our family. It's really neat. Sam actually did a bicycle camp with Maddox where it's called Loose Training Wheels, and we got to learn to ride his bike without training wheels. And actually, believe it or not, after a lot of puffing and puffing and running by Sam and I. But those are probably the most special needs type things he does. He participates in typical Cub Scouts, typical karate. He does typical soccer, some other sports he hasn't done just because some of his legs, joints, and hypermobility probably didn't get hurt. So we haven't been doing those.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the different family dynamics. Could you give a little description of each child and just kind of a key phrase that describes them?
Well, Maddox is our real laid-back, easy-going. We call him the noodle because if he gets tired or lazy or doesn't want to do something, he turns into wet spaghetti. He literally melts into the floor, and it's like trying to pick up a wet noodle, so that's how he got his nickname. And then we have Matthew. His nickname is the Brick because since the day he was born, he's just been very solid. His personality is turning out to fit that pretty well too. He's our steady Eddie, the one I rely on to help me a lot. He's very helpful with his brothers and sister, and he's a really, really good kid. Mason is the set 5-year-old. He is our maniac, and he's kind of that prototypical later child. He's wild, he's carefree, he's a free spirit, has absolutely no shyness or reservation about being exactly who he is, and it's really a neat thing to see. Mabry is the only girl, so you can imagine being the fourth one and after 3 boys that she's a little spoiled by everybody. We call her Gizmo because she has this little giggle that sounds like Gizmo from the Gremlins, and she thinks she's a princess right now. She's very much into pink and princesses and all things girly, but she's got a neat little mix of rough and tough mixed in there too from having three other brothers.
Okay, so Tina, whenever you decided to extend your family and have more children, were you afraid that they would also have Downs?
Yes and no. There's obviously that fear once you have one that you're going to have another. I just kept saying to myself and to anyone who had asked that, if we had another child with Downs, then God must obviously think that I was doing a pretty good job. I didn't feel like it was in the cards that we would have another one. Obviously, the risk is there. The risk actually is 1 in 100 after you've had a child with cancer and to have another one. But we felt that Maddox having siblings was extremely important. We had originally gone into it with my husband who wanted to have 2 kids. I wanted to have 4. After we had Maddox, we pretty well jumped to 3 real quickly because we wanted to have siblings for him, and we didn't want it to just be one sibling so that nothing would fall all on one child. And then we were actually talking about having a 4th child when she made her appearance, so she was obviously meant to be our one.
Did you always want a bigger family?